top story now. The United Nations Security Council has unanimously voted to lift sanctions. That includes a travel ban, an asset freeze and an arms embargo on Eritrea. These measures have been in place for nearly a decade, but Eritrea has significantly improved relations with both Ethiopia and Djibouti in recent months. CGTN's William Denselow reports now from the UN headquarters in New York.
Addressing the Security Council, Eritrea's United Nations representative said the decision to lift sanctions was a long time coming and marks an end to a difficult period. Chargé d'Affaires Emmanuel Giorgio says Eritrea isn't resentful and they are determined to build a peaceful and prosperous nation. In 2009, sanctions were placed on Eritrea when UN experts accused them of backing armed groups in neighbouring Somalia. Eritrea denied the allegation. And last month, the Somalia-Eritrea Monitoring Group announced that in 4 years there was no conclusive evidence that Eritrea supported the terrorist group Al-Shabaab. In July, Ethiopia and Eritrea agreed to end their state of war. And in September, Eritrea and Djibouti agreed to restore diplomatic ties. This UN resolution was led by the UK. And the country's UN ambassador Karen Pierce says that these developments show that sanctions can be an effective means to an end for achieving peace.
The agreement to lift sanctions on Eritrea recognises the improvements in regional peace and security and the positive steps Eritrea has taken to meet the demands of the Security Council. And it is right that in the light of such developments, we reconsider the measures. It is also right that we continue to urge dialogue between Eritrea and Djibouti on the Djiboutian combatants missing in action and on the resolution of their border dispute.
The resolution also asks for a February 15th progress report from UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres to Security Council members. Afterwards, a progress report is expected every 6 months. Sanctions have been lifted on Eritrea but remain in effect on Somalia, much to the frustration of the country's UN ambassador.
The outdated sanctions on Somalia is one of the longest United Nations sanction regime with the widest mandate. Not only the sanction violate the Somalis' unity, it also not align with federal government's policy to build capable Somali national army.
Some Security Council members say the sanctions help prevent weapons falling into the hands of Al-Shabaab. But Somalia's UN ambassador says they now want clearer goals on what needs to be done to see them lifted in the future. William Denselow, CGTN, New York.